Hey friends, Katie and welcome back to my channel. So I feel like I look super crazy. It's because I have like half of my makeup on today. So today's video is going to be basically a full face of products I haven't used in a while. So I thought this would be a fun video to use things that I haven't used in a long time. I have the Naked 3 palette right here. I have this palette and I have no idea this is available, but I'm just trying to keep it real and use things I haven't used in a while. This is the highlighter palette from Makeup Geek and Kathleen Lights. I haven't used this in years. These are both products I haven't used in years. But yeah, I'm really excited about this video. I thought of this concept recently and I just was really excited about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about so I'm going to have my base products listed down below because I feel like if I go into it, it's just going to be too rambly and too much. So we're just going to ignore that, and we're also going to ignore these two little pimples that won't be fully covered, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, my hair covers that part of my face up anyways, but they're being stubborn. I mean, they're not like super noticeable, but they're definitely there. So I already prepped my eyes and prepped my whole face. I did my basic face routine. So we're just gonna go into it. I'm also gonna be using my Pan palette for the transition shades because I feel like this palette just doesn't really have good transitions. Why is this? I don't know. My eyes are all messed up. I think everything's upside down apparently. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. So I'm gonna go straight onto my eyes, and let's start off with this palette. I'm gonna take Strange from the Naked 3 palette. I always hit pan on the base shades. That's pretty much what I hit pan on when it comes to palette, because I use the crap out of base shades. So I'm just gonna set my lid down, even though I did set it down with powder, but I like this because it gives it a nice good old base. So I'm just gonna do this real quick and everything, just set it up to my brow because it also highlights my brow, which I really like. And yeah, so what are some products you haven't used in a while? I know I don't use limited edition products a lot and everything. If it's limited edition, usually I don't use it a while because I do film looks on a pretty frequent basis. At least I try to. I'm not a tutorial every video kind of girl, but that's just personally what I do. I'm gonna quickly just go into my Nikkie Tutorials palette, which is something I don't really use on camera. It's currently my Pan palette, which is why I'm using it. So I'm just gonna take Chocolate Soleil and then Painkiller, and I'm just gonna go into my crease. I'm gonna use this as my main transition. We will use some of these shades in the Naked 3 palette, but I just haven't used the Naked 3 palette in a while. It's not my favorite. I don't think it's the most pigmented when it comes to palettes, so I tend to not use it. And I feel like it was very hyped 2013, isn't that when it came out? I feel like it was hyped up when it first came out, but then of course over time the hype has gone down. This is definitely a palette I would consider panning within the next couple of years, just because it's not something I use anymore, and when I consider panning, it's usually things I don't use a lot. So I guess that's my opinion with that. I feel like it will be in a project eventually one of these years. I feel like I'm the girl that I started panning and I feel like I can't stop. I'm just never gonna stop panning. I love it. It's my thing. It's my addiction. Panning is just so much fun, and once you pan one thing, you want to pan everything. And I'm always adding makeup into my collection, so I feel like I just need a pan to get use out of things, you know what I mean? And I've been doing pretty good with my rolling project pan this year too. I'm already I'm pre-filming this, so you're not gonna be seeing this for a couple months, but when I'm filming this, it is currently January, the end of January, and I'm pre-filming because I'm in school. And it's crazy because when you're seeing this, a lot different things will probably be happening when you see this, which is insane. That I love pre-filming anyways. I usually, typical when I'm home filming, I typically pre-film a week in advance, so that way I'm ahead. I just like being ahead. It's just my style. So then I'm gonna take Limit and probably Nooner, and I'm gonna focus that on the outer part of my crease. Let's see how I like these shadows. I remember liking the mattes. I think the mattes are super pretty, and I think those blend pretty well, but I think the shimmers just aren't the best. I think Urban Decay definitely lacks in their shimmer department. I'm just gonna put this in the outer part of my eye, kind of just blending it in. But yeah, I do like this matte, and yeah, I feel like that their palettes, Urban Decay palettes, they used to be the go-to palette, but nowadays it's just everyone has other, I guess, favorites, and Urban Decay just isn't the top of eyeshadows, and I've kind of been uninterested with their newer palettes. like, I don't know, I just have. Okay, so I don't know, I feel like I should do the outer corner color last because I don't know if I'm gonna love what I'm doing, but I think I'm gonna go for like a rose gold type shade. So I'm gonna take Trick, which is this shade, and that one is, I loved that shade. I think I'm gonna just take it with my finger. I feel like that's how we'll get the best pigment. It's like a rose gold type shade, which I really like, and I'm just gonna go ahead and place it on my lid with my finger, and I'm just gonna build this up. I really like this shade. It is very pretty, but I just feel like it's missing like so much. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to go in a lot with this shade, and I don't know, I'm just not like a super fan of Urban Decay shadows anymore. I feel like some of the shades in this palette especially are very crumbly, and I love rose gold. I feel like this palette started my love for rose gold, which has grown over many years. But yeah, I'm not loving these. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah. It's fun to like retry out your old favorites to see what you think about, if your opinion has changed or stayed the same. And yes, I definitely could see myself panning this in the given future. And then I'm gonna go back in with more of the browns, and I'm just going to kind of blend out the edges first and kind of see what we're working with. I think the crease does look a tad bit like dark and weird. I'm not a super fan of what's going on. It's alright. So I'm just gonna make sure to blend that nicely. Then with the Naked 3, I'm just gonna go in with Nooner. I'm just gonna take it on this brush, and I'm just gonna go in that like outer corner of it very slightly. Kind of where the socket is in my eye, like the outer socket, I guess. Then I think I am gonna use the same brush, and I'm gonna try spraying my brush and then going in with that shade and seeing if that like changes like how that like applies and stuff and how it looks. Some people say like wet your brush after you get the shadow in, but I like to do it this way. I just find it like makes it look like, I don't know, just a lot like prettier. And yeah, that definitely added like a nice shimmer that we wanted. I'm just gonna take this and kind of just press it in. That is definitely one of these shades in my palette that is like used up a tad more, and then after I spray it, I am gonna go in again just to get like enough pigment, and I'm gonna pack that on like the inner corner. I love how that looks. And then I'm just gonna go in with this same brush, and I'm gonna go in with just the Chocolate Soleil this time, and maybe a tiny bit of Painkiller, but mostly Chocolate Soleil. And then I'm just going to blend all this. It's still a little insane, and I don't love how deep I feel like the crease looks, but I'm gonna just blend it and work with it. And yeah, I feel like it's not exactly what I envisioned, but the like lid color is the best. So I think what I'm gonna do today is just go onto my face and then do mascara and stuff like that last. So I don't really have like a bronzer contour that like I like feel like was my old school, so I'm just gonna use the Chocolate Soleil and do this real quick. I will go in maybe with bronzer and do the contour. I feel like that's, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with it all around the perimeters of my face. I feel like this just really finishes off your face. It gives it depth and just makes it look so good. And then I'm just gonna take a kabuki brush because we got a little too insane, and I'm just going to kind of just blend this. Okay, so for the highlight, I'm going to take this Makeup Geek palette and stuff, and I used to use this so often, like literally and what I would do when I use this is I would just mix each shade and go on my face with it. I really liked how these looked like mixed, and that's like literally what I would do. I know I didn't put on blush yet, but that's okay. We're kind of going in this round of it right now, and I kind of like highlight kind of blended in with blush in a way, like kind of doing it this way. So I'm just going to, and I love all these shades kind of mixed together. I feel like it just looks so beautiful. So for blush, I really don't feel like I have something that's very old school, so I'm just gonna take I Will Always Love You in this palette. I've been loving this blush recently, so I've been really using that. And then I will mix it with sometimes Justify My Love, but not always. So I'm just gonna take it solo today and kind of just smile and stuff. And then I'm gonna go in with a highlight kind of again and just kind of blend that with my blush, because I feel like we look a little bit insane, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna spray my brush going with highlight. I'm looking for a new like dewier setting spray. I just got that from my mom. She's like, oh, I have a setting spray. You can just have it. I don't like it. Like she likes to use like certain products, so she doesn't like to overdo it, I guess is what she was telling me. So I'm just gonna go in. I like feel like it just gives my highlight like a better look, so I usually just wet it and then go on my face, and I feel like it just makes it look glowier, dewier, which you love. And then I'm just gonna quickly go over my face with my sponge to kind of make everything just, I don't know, just blend into my skin and kind of just seem as if it was just like there. I don't know how to explain it. And then I pretty much just have to do my mascara, my brows, but first I'm gonna use something, I don't know. I use like most of my lipsticks on a frequent basis. I don't have anything that I really don't use. I guess I'll just take this Stilla liquid lipstick today because I used to use these all the time. This one's in Perla. I'm not like a big liquid lipstick girl. Like I much rather have gloss than a liquid lipstick, but I do like the Stilla ones. They are quite nice. I'm gonna let this dry and then I'll put a gloss over it. I've just been loving the glossy look. Okay, and then I'm gonna go do my mascara and my brows off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll talk. Okay, so I just did my mascara and then I just applied a gloss over, just my basic gloss, the Sephora nude one. And now I'm just gonna take the center highlight and use that like as my highlight in my inner corner, because the Naked 3 doesn't really have like the type of color I typically like. I don't want to use like one of the rose gold shades. I feel like that's too much sometimes. So I kind of want something that is just champagne and just a more neutral, natural color. And then for my brows, I'm just gonna take it on my pinky and kind of just highlight very slightly, like literally the littlest bit. Okay, so this is my finished makeup using products I haven't used in a while. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed using products. If you'd like me to do this like on a more frequent basis, maybe pick out a palette a month to like kind of use, or maybe palette a week to use, like something, doing a video a week in a week where I do a chatty get ready with me, and then maybe like use that palette and stuff like that. Let me know down below because I'd love to do this again. It was super fun. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. I post videos on Mondays and Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so be sure to subscribe so you can see more of me. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!